joining us. You're watching the 18 WJTS News. I'm Joy Holt. A Jasper man was arrested Saturday evening and charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated after he caused a collision that sent a family to the hospital. Police reported that 74-year-old Donald Stewart of Jasper struck two vehicles Saturday just after 7 p.m. Saturday night. Police reported that 74-year-old Stewart veered into oncoming traffic while traveling in a 2003 Chevrolet S10 pickup northbound on Newton Street. After veering to the left, he crossed the left-hand turn lane near the 17th Street intersection into the opposing traffic lane and sideswiped a 1971 GMC C1500 pickup driven by 34-year-old Alan Poe of Huntingburg. Behind Poe's 71 GMC was 33-year-old Violet Miller and her family traveling in a 2014 Acadia. Stewart's pickup continued in the southbound lane and struck the Acadia head-on. Miller suffered injuries to her arm and wrist in the head-on collision. Miller, her husband David, and 4 juveniles were all treated at Memorial Hospital for injuries. Stewart was also transported to Memorial Hospital by EMTs after complaining of pain to his chest, head, and leg. Police said that Stewart had obvious signs of intoxication at the scene. After a blood draw, it was determined his blood alcohol content was 0.129%. He is facing charges of operating while intoxicated, driving while suspended, and driving left of center. Local students received one more day out of school on Monday as educators joined forces for the first annual Educate DuBois County. The day was designated to a professional development day among teachers as they all came together in one place. All 4 school corporations worked together for this day to take place. The all-inclusive format is a first for county schools as they now practice a shared calendar. With all 4 schools working together, educators were able to participate in breakout sessions, share teaching practices, and hear updates on successful events within each other school. Northeast DuBois Superintendent Bill Hoaxong says while a success, it's the first of its kind for local educators with a focus on continuous improvement.
We had an hour built into the day of collaboration so that all the first grade teachers were together. All the kindergartner teachers were in one room. All the teachers that teach high school social studies were in a room together so that they could get together and just have conversations about, what's going well, what's difficult, what are the kids really, what's a lesson maybe that the kids just love, and what's maybe the hardest lesson to teach or kids to grasp. And they wanted to talk to each other about getting better, how to do it better. And how, and all the kids in DuBois County will benefit from this day.
Next year's Professional Development Day is already on the books for Martin Luther King Day and is planned to be an annual event. Indiana State Police are looking into a Pike County domestic dispute that turned deadly. Indiana State Police at the Evansville Post are investigating a Pike County domestic dispute over the weekend that turned deadly. They say just after 11 o'clock Sunday night, the Pike County Sheriff's Department received a 911 call regarding a shooting that had occurred at a home located along the 300 block of North 10th Street in Petersburg. State police say when officers arrived at the residence, they discovered 46-year-old Brian White was dead of a gunshot wound. A preliminary investigation by police found that White and his wife were engaged in a physical confrontation when White allegedly reached for a nearby handgun. They say his wife also grabbed the handgun, and after a brief struggle, she was able to take control of the handgun and shot her husband in self-defense. Police say she then left the residence and ran to a nearby location for help. Police say this is an ongoing investigation and additional information will be released when available. The Pike County Prosecutor's Office will review the investigation when it's completed. Indiana State Police were assisted by the Petersburg Police Department and the Pike County Sheriff's Department. In other news, authorities say a death investigation in what looks like to be an accidental shooting is underway in Campbellsburg. Indiana State Police at Jasper say around 2:45 Sunday afternoon, police responded to a location along the 7400 block of East County Road 800 North in Campbellsburg to the report of a juvenile that had been shot. Police say a preliminary investigation found that a father and 2 children were preparing to go outside and shoot handguns. They say the father received a phone call, and while he was on the phone, his daughter unintentionally shot her brother, 14-year-old Rex William Pruitt, with a .22 caliber revolver. Police say due to the remote location, the father loaded his son into his vehicle and started towards St. Vincent Hospital in Salem. They say the boy unfortunately died at the hospital. Police say the investigation into the incident is ongoing, but investigators do not suspect foul play. An autopsy was conducted Monday afternoon by the Washington County Coroner's Office. State police were assisted at the scene by the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Washington County Sheriff's Office, and the Washington County Coroner's Office. Republican Victor Ippoliti declared his candidacy for the office of Spencer County Prosecutor. If nominated in the May 8th primary election, he will go on to face Democratic incumbent Dan Wilkinson, who plans to seek re-election. The 64-year-old resident of St. Meinrad operates the Ippoliti Law Office in Ferdinand and hopes to bring a more cooperative approach to the prosecutor's office if elected. He served in the military for 21 years and has practiced law for 20. If re-elected, Wilkinson plans to devote more time to building closer alliances with local law enforcement to tackle drug issues. An Indiana soldier killed in a California helicopter crash has close ties with southern Indiana. Clayton Cullen was killed Saturday during a training crash at Fort Irwin, California. Cullen, a top student and athlete at his high school before starting Army officer training while in college, was among two Fort Carson, Colorado-based soldiers that died in the accident. 25-year-old Cullen, a 2011 graduate of North Knox High School, grew up in Bicknell. Cullen was a National Honor Society and Student Council member and MVP of the school's soccer team. After his 2015 graduation, Cullen joined Indiana University's ROTC program and entered the Army. The Indiana Senate has approved a measure that would repeal Indiana's ban on Sunday carryout alcohol sales. The bill by Republican Senator Ron Alting of Lafayette passed Monday on a 39-10 vote. It now moves to the House, which is expected to vote soon on its own Sunday sales proposal. Both measures would allow stores to sell carryout alcohol on Sundays between noon and 8 p.m. Similar bills have stalled in recent years, but Republican legislative leaders say now's the time to act. Separate legislation that would have allowed convenience stores, big box retailers, and pharmacies to sell cold and not just warm beer faced a different fate. It was voted down in committee last week. Selling cold carryout beer is a right primarily enjoyed by liquor stores. That's been a look at your news. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with your weather outlook and local forecast right after this.